Martin's is a little more complicated because it's all over the country and it's all over. Mine's a little more complicated because I take the overflow, but it's still very real. The overflow is not going to stop. You know what I mean? I'm in the most like I'm in a position where it's like it's most likely to just keep. Nothing's going to really change for me. You know what I mean? As long as everybody just keeps going at the rate they're going, if they can, and God
So what
forbid.
I'm saying is that if we are the network, we are quality skilled. So I have an
No,
interesting problem. I'm trying to analyze this problem with Bobby. So, but I just want to make sure we understand which business we're going to. We're going to the network business because that's what once we have the network. One of the problems is that, and I keep on going back to the small companies that we're developing. What they're going to be is they're going to be part of this network that has guys, our customers, that are going to be dealing not directly with they're going to be dealing directly with those guys in the network, but they're going to pay for that service. You see what I'm saying? Because we're still going to have our own little companies down there doing our 1 million or 5 million a year. We can trade them like Bitcoin if we wanted to, but the real thing is coming up with a way where we can dip into that 20 billion a year industry in a major way, so that everybody uses the Craigslist. So that's the end business that you're going to have. But on
you have
top
to
of that,
know. You have to read what they're going to see. Why they're going to say. Well, why? What? First of all, you establish why it's going to happen. And the reason why it's going to happen is AI is going to wipe out 90% of these PMs. Like that Tanya lady's going to go away. If there's
right?
some automated AI that can answer all my questions, like I've talked about with the book, where if we've uploaded every bit of information to a QR code, and then you scan that QR code, and this automated thing knows everything, the elevation, what an item number, with this, that, what all it did was it's just updated to the job. And now and it's not bothered when you ask it questions. It doesn't talk trash about you when you turn around. You know what I mean? It doesn't give you any of the blah, blah, blah. That all can be replaced by AI. You know what I mean? Even in a sense of like field reports with cameras and stuff like that. So they're going to move to in-house installation, guaranteed. I guarantee they're going to have a team of really, really good installers that cover all their high priority stuff. And those guys are going to need to come from somewhere, not just another field. And if you have something in play where you can, it all goes back to training and schooling and being the people who have the people before the people need the people. And I mean, I know what we need to do. It's just a matter of me going by myself and explaining it. I mean, I'll do it. I mean, if that's what it's really going to really take, I'm going to go do it. And I'll explain it to somebody the way I think about it. And I know they're going to be like, yeah, this is right. This is the
But all
pathway
right.
that it's
So
going to
with
take.
that being said, now what is the buy-in? How much does the guy got to give you? How much does the guy got to give you to get it to be part of the network?
It, it depends on if he's coming out of school. If we can get it covered by, if we can go to, we might be able to get something covered by the government. We don't know.
Oh
We've
no,
never
we
found.
we
We've
can.
never.
There's a government plan already. I've already
We've
been
never.
researching
We've
that.
never. That's what I'm saying. We just need to talk to the right person. Somebody. We might be able to get paid if the guy just signs a contract, and now he just shows up to our job, and we get checks from the government because we are training people in an essential business.
But anyway, you see where I'm at is that the problem is that now there's certain things that we can do. I mean, obviously, but there's certain things that we need to make sure is mechanically done, and that is the guys have got to. The biggest problem is the money, and I'm going to tell you, it's always going to haunt us for the rest of our life. And the reason that the money is going to be a problem is because we're always funding somebody else's new business. Somebody that's not doing so good is always going to need some help. We're gonna be making like we're making investments in Justin. Right now, he's holding his own. He's holding his own because he hasn't run up against any roadblocks yet. Because he's totally under our wing right now. He doesn't run a payroll right now. And matter of fact, we run him through our payroll but now he's become an active player. So now that guy is going to multiply. We're going to have 100 of those guys. They're all over the place. They don't have workman's comp. Anything could happen. Like right now, and Bobby's in danger. If workman's comp comes on, he could get a $15,000 fine for not having his guys covered. That's how serious some of this stuff is. So anyway, we got to have a person that's real knowledgeable about all that kind of stuff that's going to be involved. It's a tough. That's the bookkeeper is like a no-brainer. We find somebody that actually does it as a business. Like I just found an IT guy. We had the guy that Anthony. I don't know if you met Anthony last night. Tamara's husband. He's starting a computer repair and IT software service. But the guy don't have any wheels. And so he's kind of just like working off his desk. But he's good. He's went to school the whole bit. So that guy, I could offer him a job if we needed an IT guy, which I don't know if we ever need that or not. But if we found us a bookkeeper, really is.
I think we need to go talk to people, the oil company guys.
Yeah.
That's what I think we need to talk. No, Dad, I'm not joking. I think we need to go talk to somebody who's in a different industry, who has money, has real money. Like someone said, try and say, look, dude, this is a multi-billion-dollar company. We control it. We're the guys that do they can't do it if it.
Martin just came in. Say hello.
Hey, Martin. If you can't do it, if you can't put it in the building, it can't be done. And there's a certain side of I'm watching this show about these guys that drill the oil, and the guys who drill the oil kind of run. These guys with billions of dollars aren't going to come out there and frack this shit. You know what I mean? It's like.
Yeah, but I think the whole thing too is the AI thing is really going to be. You're exactly right about that. A guy's going to be able.
I am. They're going to wipe
right
everybody out.
Now, Jeff Billingsley could go to AI and say, "Look, give me all the installers in this area and all their credentials," and then he just calls them up and says, "Hey, so
boom.
If
you get ahead of that and you got all those guys on your shit, and they're like, yeah, I'm signed up with Bob Redden. I'm signed up with Bob Redden and our team. We're doing this program right now.
It's like the train. That gets back to the training. Gets back to if we train them in a certain if you're always going. Like right now, Martin's going through the medical thing. There's different organizations, so you can go to Moffitt, or you can go to CHA. Well, Moffitt has different rules, and they don't even have the same doctors. So those doctors join like Moffitt, or they join CHA, and that way they're automatically in that referral system.
Yeah, they have their certification from somebody that gives them an automatic referral.
Right, they're vetted, and they have all the insurance, have all everything. So but that gets back to part of the training side is
we already have the training grounds. All we have to
Justin,
do is just go.
He's got to have his workman's comp. He's got to have somebody doing his invoicing for him. I'll give you an example. Ray he takes on Qualtrics. Hey, I need a double oven moved, picked up at the warehouse, and taken over to this golf club, nursing home, right?
Yeah.
So he goes to get the oven, and the oven is a huge oven, and it's the same ovens we've been using. They're South Bends, but they're bolted together on the dock, right?
Yeah.
So in his infinite wisdom, he can't figure out how, because he can't move them. He'd have to go get a big panel truck with a lift gate and move it that way. And so he, in his Mexican way, decided that he's going to just take the two ovens apart, because normally what it is just a mini plate on the back, and you lift them up and they're ready to go. So he looks at it, and it's like, he pries it up, and he finds out they're bolted together. So the first thing he wants to do is he takes the side panel off, and he can access the bolts, right? But the bolts are spinning now. So he can't access the bottom to hold the bolt. So now he's got a bolt. These two ovens are bolted together, but he can't get the bolts out.
Yeah.
So instead of calling somebody and just saying, "Hey, I can't do this,"
Yeah.
he decided he could take it off because it was just two bolts, and if he gets the two bolts off, he could put it back together with a mending plate.
Yeah.
Thinking reasonable. So he tries to cut the bolts. He can lift it up enough so he can get a saw blade in there, and he cuts the bolts so he breaks the ovens apart. So now he's going to the place, and then long and short of it, he gets everybody's taking pictures and stuff when he's out here doing this, whatever he's doing, putting it together, and so they're a little bit late because of this downtown LA, and they've got traffic and all sorts of shit. And this guy says, we can't do this at 10 o'clock in the morning because we got to cook. We're still using the old ovens. So he hangs around, and he has the two ovens ready to go, and the main boss comes out there, and they couldn't find the wheels, right? The wheels weren't in the oven or some kind of deal. So they're out there putting this oven together at like 6 o'clock at night, and it's already getting dark. And so, and they haven't they're still cooking in the other oven, so it's still hot in there. So long and short, he's having a hard time getting these things in. Well, he gets them in, gets them stacked. They're all operating the whole bit. He gets a call. They get a call from the owner saying he wants two new ovens because where the small marks on the back of the oven were dented. The guys claimed that Ray and those guys dropped it. And so now here's this young guy that had an opportunity, but now he's out there. First thing out of the blue, there's somebody that's kind of making up, and they've been using the ovens too, so it's not like the ovens are. But the guy's saying, well, what about a year from now when something goes wrong, so. But those are the kind of situations where now the guys, he wasn't trained properly. Personally, he should have never taken that job on. He should have called somebody and said, hey, what do you know about these ovens? And it's like, well, you got to have, first off, you got to have a fucking panel truck with a lift gate, and then you got to have a fucking 5,000 pound dolly to take it into the building, and there's all that kind of bullshit. You got to make sure it can get in the, he got in over his head, and now I told him how to fix it. Since the guy's been using the ovens, they're not going to take the ovens back. If you use them, that's like eating your fucking food. They're not going to take the $14,000 oven back when it's working fine. Nothing else. They'll have a technician come out there and verify that it's and it's a gas oven, so it's not like there's a lot of shit can go wrong with it. It'll be a component or replace the top panel or something. There's ways to get around it. But anyway, Ray's stuck in the middle of it right now, and he's having. Quasser have called him and said you need to file a claim on your insurance because we're going to have to replace those ovens. And Ray was saying, well, if I have to place it, do I get the ovens? And I said, sure, you get the ovens. You paid for the ovens, you get the ovens. I said, but what you do is you call South Bend and find out what the replacement pieces are and write him a letter and say, here's a replacement piece. And we will warrant it. You write a warranty to the guy. I mean, it's not like South Bend's not going to come out there and do it, especially if instead of paying $14,000 or doing something like that, they can get South Bend to come down there for $1,000 and certify it that the thing's all right. You know what I mean? Because it wasn't dropped. But my point is that these young guys they don't, since they're dealing with such expensive equipment, sometimes it's better to pass. Like if somebody asks you to put a dishwasher machine together, the
big one,
the real big ones that are 30 foot long.
Yeah.
I mean, you would be a fool to take that fucking on, unless you
without hiring somebody that does it every day of their life that could show me.
You would have to figure in on hiring their certified technician to fly them in and supervise. So
I would hire the best in the business to come with. Was my first.
But you, Sam, would Justin? But would Justin think about that?
No, I
Right.
don't know.
Right. That's what I'm saying. There's
I've known about training since I was, when I went back to my wax going days. Everybody else was like doing shit in their shed, and I went and learned from the pros. You know what I mean? So like, I think I've always thought just a little bit differently on what I mean, from you. You know what I mean? Obviously, I'm not. I just think that you just learn. If you learn from the right people, the chance of success for, if you're going to
right.
do these in the future
Right.
and you're going to break even, just like that's what I'm telling Mark right now. I'd rather him send fucking 5-day laborers or 3-day laborers up there instead of sending himself, just because I know you're going to break even. You're going to spend the money. I mean, he said he wants to go for himself, so that's a whole. Like I said, I can get behind you wanting to go for the experience. The idea of like, this is the last one of the year, spare no expense, run the numbers, shit, get it done in 6 hours. You know what I mean? Put 4-day laborers on it, whatever you're going to do. Like, that's just the way.
Well,
we
got Justin. Like, Justin's 5 hours away. He's coming up with the tool set, and James.
Yeah, and I'm sure it's all fucking. I'm sure it's gonna fucking blow.
No, they're gonna get it done. They're gonna get it done in one day. We were just here right now because there's no millwork, there's no cabinets, there's no soffit, there's no seating. You know, it's just a drive-through. That's all it is.
Yeah, you're just pushing stuff in the building.
Right, pretty much.
Well,
the shelves. There's 18 shelves.
Yeah, build the shelves
and they got and the wall shelves. So that's the toughest part.
Hang some shit on some tile. Yep.
Right. Oh yeah, and those guys need to keep busy too, because those guys are golden. You know, they'll go anywhere, anytime, and I mean, just like you're saying up there, you tell them to do something, there isn't no sass back or any of that. Oh, well, if I was getting paid better, or you know, they don't play that game. You know, they're just like right in there, and those guys and Justin's fucking he's a weird one. I don't know about him.
Justin who?
Pate.
Yeah.
Yeah, he gets in over his head pretty quick sometimes, and you know, and I don't know if that's a condition. That might be a condition, not necessarily something that's you can train out of. You know, it's like guys that want to climb mountains. You know, they want to hang off. They want to climb a mountain without a fucking rope. It's like you better be good. You better be good at what you. You better be good at what you're doing.
He needs to be. What he needs to be is perception. If you told him, you said, you know, you could hire Ron.
Oh yeah, no, he's good. Right.
If you told him that like that and opened his mind in a sense of like, you know, you could hire Ron.
Oh yeah, well you
could hire.
Hire
Martin.
Let me tell you where this is going though. Olivia, his wife, Olivia, she was interested. We actually had a couple conferences where she was trying to learn the spreadsheet because she's going to be taking care of his books for him, right?
Yeah. Exactly.
And she was a paralegal, right? Working for a paralegal. And right now, she's going to school for AI. It's all AI. She's all in on AI, coding.
And that's where I would be.
So I'm saying he could become just because of what she's doing, he could become a powerhouse real quick, you know.
Well, that's where I would try to turn him into a force. I'd say, look, if you look at this differently, instead of trying to do everything by yourself, you look at it like, you know, these guys in the block, you know our rates, you know what we can do. Now you go out and you tell the truth. You say, look, I could, you know, you give me the right schedule, you give me a month's notice and all this stuff and everything here under these terms and conditions, we can perform, and I'll do my best to.
Well, I think that Kesco thing. I think that's what he's thinking. You know that
exactly.
he's gonna dip into the guys.
That's what I tell him. I'm like, look, man, you got to start thinking of it like you got us behind you, but you have to.
Wes is definitely thinking about it. He's about ready to bring on a third guy right now. Yeah. And I got to talk to you about this Seattle trip too. Is I think I'm gonna. There's two things that happen. He's got a Kentucky job at the same time he's got the Seattle job. So he doesn't want to leave his guys behind and leave them out of work. But he wants to go to Seattle because he's got a guy in Portland that works for Amazon or something. Kind of the same. No, he's an insurance salesman. That he was working with out there in Seattle. that's been watching what he's doing and is interested in doing it. And this guy's stationed in Portland, Oregon. So Wes
Okay.
wants to go out to the Seattle job, but if he can't go, but he also wants to take the Kentucky job to keep his guys busy. And and really, what it amounts to is it's Nashville, Tennessee. I'm sorry, not Kentucky. And that's what's conflicting with it. So it's a sweet job, So he doesn't have to do it. But what happens? That means his two guys here are sitting with no work for the week. So now he's
Yeah.
trying to figure that out. Well, that's great that he's trying to figure it out. But since it's on RPO, I don't want him to go up there and fuck up. I want him to go to Seattle because there's an opportunity there for him to plug in. But on the other side of it, I don't want his guys experimenting on our tropical smoothie in Nashville, which is a sweet trip for anybody.
So ideally, what would you like to have happen? Because I'm still not picking up what you think.
I would like his two guys to do
what's
it.
What's best case scenario?
The best case scenario is you go up there and work with his two guys and make sure Wes is training them right.
Where?
In Nashville. Take Naham up there and you work with their two guys. I think you guys have already worked with Wes's guys anyway, right? Up there in Indiana?
Yeah.
In the bowling alley. Tyler's still with him, but I don't know if you've worked with Brandon yet, but Martin's worked with Brandon. Best case scenario was us to send two guys up and let his two guys come down and blow through it.
Is there anything I'm supposed to be doing during that time, or is it?
Well, there's a couple things. We can look at the schedule tomorrow. Because we got a couple weeks to plan it all out, So
out of next month, how much is it that I'm anticipating? How much of it am I doing for? Like I just need to know how much I'm planning on doing next month. It's actually my stuff.
I don't think the POs have been. There's only been a couple POs issued for next month right now.
Okay.
So we got to figure that out. I mean, Martin is going to be right in the middle of his chemo when that's happening. All this is happening. So
I'm just trying to figure out what I need to be prepared for, really mentally.
Well, look at your calendar. I mean, the calendar has.
I've seen it. There's a bunch of stuff on there. I just didn't know which ones are actually sticking.
Really, the only ones we got to do is parse out what Bobby's got to do, and everything else we just got to figure out who we're going to write the PO to.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm not worried about.
As I'm saying, I mean, there's some. I mean, stuff is moving too. I mean, but to get back to the original conversation, though, I just want to make sure that if we can find, the bookkeeping is going to be important for all. Even Wes right now is struggling a little bit. He just started his ADP thing, right? So now he's got to submit his payroll every week. And right now, Janice submits yours and Martin's. And Bobby's going to have to start running his payroll to get him legal. So she'll be running those three payrolls. And then that means for her to take on Wes's payroll and make sure it's all right is going to be that's going to be tough.
Yeah, well, Wes, if anybody should be paying him.
Wes is saying his girl is interested in doing it. So he might have an avenue where it's not a problem for him either, But we don't want him getting in trouble with his payroll the first year he's running it, This is the first time he's ever run a payroll, and he's done insurance sales and been on the outside of it. But as far as making sure the guys got their W-2s at the end of the year and all that kind of shit, I mean, he's brand new. And Justin's even greener than he is. And then we got James coming down the line. If he decides he's gonna brand himself or whatever he's gonna do. Hazelwood's already started talking about getting out there, and then Ferguson Ferguson thinks he can do this with no problem. So I'm sure, and he's already got all his shit. It's just a matter of plugging him in so he doesn't do anything foolish. And that, but on the other side of it, like let's say we have another company like this, like Cantina, a company called Innovative Installation in Tempe, Arizona. Katina had sent me. Did I tell you this about innovative
No.
installations? Anyway, they're small. They're kind of a small company in Tempe and Phoenix, Arizona.
Oh, I think you told me a little bit. I remember
Right,
something. Yeah.
right. And it's run by a husband and wife team, you know, and they got a great website and the whole bit. But what's funny about it is that we actually have a Dunkin' Donut in Tempe, Arizona. We have within 4 miles of where their shop is, there's a Dunkin' going in, and they're
Yep.
looking for work. You know, they don't even have a clue that it's even going in. Probably, isn't that
Yeah.
wild? And so
No, it's good.
that just came to me. I didn't ask for anything else. It just came to me from the guys that are going to give us about $30,000 worth of business in March. They got that big golf club up there. So, but I'm just saying now you could go out there, or I could send. I, if I felt good about Ray, I could send Ray over there to train him. But I don't think he's he's not preferred trainer. Seeing how he
Yeah.
just fucked up those ovens, he
Yeah.
might he might be going away
No.
permanently.
Yeah. He might. That might put him out the game for a little minute.
Right.
Might just disappear.
Yeah. But anyway, so you know, those situations are presenting themselves. You know what I'm saying? It's like, so now if these guys were good guys and they're coming referred, it's like Katina uses them all the time. And if you look at their website, they do a lot of stuff. But are they going to, you know, like Casey? Casey has disappointed me because he's using our guys. You know, he's trying to get him to go out to Utah and the whole bit, and he would use Nahum and any of those guys. You know, so Casey's kind of doing a thing. It's just we're not benefiting directly from it. We're only benefited in the sense that they're keeping our guys busy. You know, which is
Yeah. We got up the
not a
price.
bad
You got
thing.
up the price. You got up the price a little bit. Say, hey, this is
Well,
this.
no,
I'm
he's
paying.
dealing direct with them. Like Wes, for example, it was getting too complicated to handle Wes's money, and plus, Suave was talking about it was too much money. I was charging him 65 an hour, and so Wes works for 35 or 45 an hour, so where that he could perform. You know, otherwise he wasn't going to be able to take the work. So and then there was all this little punch work that was going on. So I was having to get the time from him, bill it, and wait for the money and fund it and the whole bit. And I just told Wes, I said, Wes, you just cut your own deal, dude. I can't do this anymore.
Yeah.
You know, it
Yeah.
wasn't worth the $300 a month or a week or whatever. That, you know,
Yeah.
it was only $20 an hour, and they were doing 20. You know, it was stupid. It's taking a lot of time. Plus, I was having to collect the money, so I just turned Wes onto it. Well, now Wes is into him about he's getting his own Paris baguettes. Ray's already done his own Paris baguettes, uh, and so Casey's using those guys. And now Justin's going to Utah with him. He's doing these Cucos or something. So our trained guys, are on his job. Do you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And he's part of the network. And he's offered if instead of us going up north, he would give us our guys. We just pay his guys. So he's already.
Yeah.
If we went to Boston right now, if we got a job like the tropical smoothies, Suave says, "Hey, we'll use our guys. You know, then nobody will know nothing about it. You pay us, but I wouldn't want to give Casey a whole job because tropical might say, "Hey, yeah, wait a minute, we blackball this guy and now you're using him." That wouldn't go over very good. You know, so
Yeah.
no, it's interesting. But anyway, I mean, we just need to focus on really kind of the accounting side of it, you know, to get that, and then the other thing is finding a guy that I can just kind of clue him in on what I'm doing, you know.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. 100%.
all right. Well,
100%.
anyway,
100%. We need to go to. I need to look up whatever.
going to a college is getting a young college guy is the best way to do it.
Go to business. Whoever's majoring in business, and go and talk to like 20 business majors who are shortchanged. You know what I mean?
Right.
They ain't got really any money in it. But fuck, $100 goes massive for them.
Right.
They start out where $100 is massive, and then they start out where $500 is like. I mean, the money incentive to them is like so crazy that you would.
That's
Be able to
what happened to Stefan. He found a guy that put this program together for him, did this automation for him, and the guy said, "Oh, I can get it done in about a week, and it's going to be about $450 or something like that." So the guy comes back a couple weeks later, and he said, "My boss says it was too cheap. It should be 4,000."
Yeah. No, exactly.
So he was like chunking away at it, thinking he's going to make, and I'm going to make more money in 3 days than I've made in the last month. And his boss goes, "What are you doing, man? That's a $4,500 job."
Yeah, no, exactly. And that's the part where it's like young kids. Not that you're taking advantage, but you're bringing them into light onto what you're showing up with the opportunity for them to in 6 months from now when he is making $4,000 or whatever a month, it just changes the perspective of stuff. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like Sebastian when he first started. I swear to God, $1,000 would last him freaking a month.
Yeah, now he needs 1,000 every 3 days.
Yeah, now it's like I call him. Yeah, exactly. A week later, it's all gone, and I'm like, bro, I gave you $1,400 a week ago. Yeah, I had to do this and this and this, and just finds things to do with the money, and it's like, and not to mention,
I think everybody's got that evil.
No, I'm not against it. I'm saying it's the idea of like there's some kid over there sitting over there with the skill to help us, and he doesn't have no coin in his pocket,
Right.
It's like he knows every language of everything you're talking about with everything that you're talking about doing. He's young. He needs some coin. We toss him some money. He's going to be so pumped to come kick it and get more information so he can get more money. And it's like, it's just such a natural, normal occurrency that we just need to just tap into. It's like, just go speak to the people. Find out who's interested in doing this type of work.
Yep.
Then, like you said, they're going to be in the field because they're going to get bored of the office. They get real caught up on everything, and but man, I'm going to go out there and check some shit. He's offloading the truck. You know what I mean? It's like he knows more about the business than what he ever thought he would, just because he's seen it firsthand. So I could see it through and through, without a doubt. Especially if we stick with guys, and that's not against women. It's just the idea of like they're a multi-tool if they can go out and do the install too. They know what's up. A PM can get up, or a guy in the office can get up and go bust his ass for a day. Like worst case scenario, and he knows everything that's going on. It's just massive. We're like training a soldier that's on like the back end that just like nobody even knows that we have, a secret weapon that would know everything about every detail. So I agree with the guy thing. You know what I mean? So.
Yeah. But, all right. Well, I gotta get this book out for Bobby. He'll be over here in a little bit. He's supposed to bring Kai over to play in the office a little bit.
That's awesome.
So we'll see.
Awesome.
It was good to see him last night, huh?
Oh yeah. Just even he doesn't look like he's
not growing. Do you know that other little kid he was playing with? The other little kid he was playing with there, Carter.
Yeah.
He's only 4 years old, and Kai's 6.
Oh, wow. Yeah. Yeah. It looked like he was going to be big there for a second. It was like, you know what I mean? And then it was like,
no, I mean, just think about it. He's 6 years old. Just think.
Yeah, it's crazy.
That's like,
yeah, that's a little crazy. That's a little crazy. The 4-year-old's taller than the 6-year-old. That's a little crazy.
But Kai's got an IQ of 200, so.
Yeah, but he looks like he's way smarter than the 4-year-old. Same damn size. You're like, damn, they're the same age. He's super smart. Nah, he's a dork. He's 23 years old.
He's in middle school.
Yeah. He's about to get his driver's license next year. What's up, bro? Hey, what's up, man?
How you like it's funny, his short hair too, like he got, he goes, I told him, I said, oh man, I like that. It looks, you look neat, clean. He goes, it'll grow back. It'll grow back. I can imagine he did not like it when she cut that hair off.
Yeah, that was his whole personality. Part of his personality at least. You know what I mean?
Did he show you his gold chain last night?
Yeah, I saw him pull it out the picture. I thought that was hilarious.
He just showed his bling.
Yeah, that was funny. That was super funny. Good for him though. He's happy. He didn't look like he was missing a beat. That's all that matters to me, man. You know what I mean?
Right.
Like he looks like he's all right. Shit, he didn't act like he was caring to see me. You know? So I was like, all right, bro. Shit. You all right, young man? You doing all right?
Yeah, he was pretty well distracted last night.
Yeah.
A lot of stuff going on. So.
Yeah.
All right. I gotta get this going here, or I'm gonna get behind the 8 ball. All right.
All right. Call me if you need me.
Will do. See you.